What is up, everybody? It's your boy, the liberal loudmouth. What's up? What is up? Today is Saturday. Oh, I forgot to change my shit. 1 second. I'm going to change my shizit. My shizlets. Bam. Oh, yeah. Oh, Mamdani. Gonna get that Donnie. What's up, y'all? Yorkshire, what's going on? Thanks for the heart me. Thanks for heart me. Guys, when you come in, don't forget to get your points with the heart me's and the comments and such, and get your points and level up. Because everything with TikTok is a game. It's all a game. All right, just getting my shit set up. Give me a second. I'm gonna tell my peoples that I'm live. Let's see, and everyone, we are live. Oh, thanks for the donut, Yorkshire. Thank you, thank you. Shit, we're getting started off just right. Almost to 200. Yeah, let's get to tapping. Let's get and share this out to your MAGA friends, especially because, man, I was listening to this panel this morning. Oh my God, these people are pissed. I can't believe he's glazing a jihadi communist. Good morning, Raw. What's up? This shit is fucking hilarious, guys. I mean, I did a video this morning. Guys, so the video I did was like, I don't know, 48 seconds long, but it was actually 2 minutes of Trump just looking up at Mamdani, just, you know, loving the guy, because it was so weird. It took me forever to edit that video, but I couldn't use the audio because I was using Marvin Gaye's "Let's Get It On." I had the whole song in there. There was actually more clips than there was song, so I had to truncate it a little bit. But no, it's pretty fucking funny, and I can't even play it, unfortunately, on the live because I simulcast to YouTube, and YouTube will give me a copyright violation even if I play a little bit of it. But if you want, go check out that video I just did. It's the last one I did. It's pretty funny. Yeah, raw. Maybe. My wife's coming today, so I really just don't give a shit. You know, these people are going to do what they're going to do. Eventually, they're going to shut this shit down. They're going to, you know, get rid of people like me anyway. So, you know, it'll be fun while it lasts, I guess. Or it won't be fun. Hasn't been a whole lot of fun for me, I'll just say. But you know, we'll see. It's fucking just, you know, the jihadi communist they call this man, which is nuts to me. But now even people online are like, what the fuck is going on? And some people are like, oh, this is 3D chess. They're like, Trump's setting him up so that if Mamdani succeeds, he'll take credit. And if Mamdani fails, then it was because of communism. Cash. Yes, MAGA is losing their minds over that. Yes. I've heard it with my own ears. I mean, these people were pissed. I can't believe he's glazing that jihadi communist like that. Oh yeah, on Twitter. Go look at Twitter. Pretty nutso. These people, you know. But the thing is that Trump, I don't know, believes in a whole lot because the guy's just full of shit. He goes wherever the compliments take him. And Mamdani is much more charismatic even than Trump, I think. Let's see. Yeah, this app is bullshit. It really is. So if you guys haven't. And I don't push this a lot, but you can go to the tube, look up Liberal Loudmouth. You'll see my stuff there, and you can follow me there because when this gets taken down, I say when because it's inevitable. Ellison and the fucking Zios are taking it. You can still, you know, keep on top of it that way. Keep your enemies close, Tash says. Man, I thought Donald was gonna put Mamdani in his chair. And that Donald was going to get under the table. He's like, oh, Bubba, give me that Mamdani D. Oh, Mamdani. That's what I thought Trump was going to do. I mean, that's really what it looked like. So there's You say, come on up here, man. We can talk about it. You're welcome to come on up. I think it's funny. Pretty indicative though of Mamdani's appeals. Like, well, now you see why we like the guy. But it could be all bullshit, guys. This guy could have played us too, right? He could be full of shit. I'm going to give the guy the benefit of the doubt, even though he was telling people not to primary Hakeem Jeffries. But I don't know. That sounds like politics to me. When did they take Beastmaster? I think they've already done it because the last I saw reported, and this was July, August, they said the deal was finalized. This was what was reported, that they had finalized it, and then you hear nothing about it after that. And I think what happened is that they're just suddenly doing it because, I mean, imagine Ellison takes it over, or should we say Israel takes it over, and then just start wiping out anybody that criticizes Israel. That wouldn't be very smart. So I think they're doing subtle little things, to kind of fuck with people. Like you saw 3 days in a row, 4 days in a row, I got my shit bananaed and then brought back, And some of my videos, they don't do what they used to do in terms of like views and whatnot. Let me get back through some of these. Is that why Trump had goo eyes all meeting? Exactly, Jesse. That shit was, I mean, if you haven't seen the video I did, I think it's funny. Maybe it's stupid, but it's pretty funny. This app isn't going anywhere anytime soon. They may silence the good ones. Well, the app is going to stay. I'm talking about people that are critical of Israel. They'll get rid of us. They took over the app when it went dark for one day. Yeah, I think so. But again, they're just not going to outright start banning people. We're still talking about it. It's crazy how there's no more talk about the Epstein emails. I don't understand people like you, Tash. Because we didn't talk about it for like one day. You're like, nobody talks about it anymore. And if we talk about Trump for one day, oh my God, you guys, that's all you ever talk about is Trump. You guys just make shit up as you go, I guess. Anyway, I had this. Let me see if I can find that tweet. I put it in a bookmark here. Yeah, I ended up spending all my prep time this morning making that fucking video. I think this one was funny. Yeah, so Homeland Security posted this. Actually, it's a little irrelevant, but rent is too high. There are tens of millions of criminal illegals in our country. Groceries cost too much. Tens of millions of illegal. So they just keep making these statements and then, responding with there are tens of millions of criminal illegals in our country. Look at what this guy says. Vile spirit of the West. The legal ones need to go. Access to white people is not a human right. Your presence in a white country materially diminishes the quality of life of its native population. Your presence is anti-white, not whiteguilt.org. Like, I mean, really, that's what all this kind of boils down to is white supremacy. Because if you notice the people running Israel, they're white. Those people are white. And I don't know what it is about whiteness that makes them believe themselves to be superior, but you look at all the advancements in history, and it's not white people that did it. We got somebody up here, Kiara. I think I remember Kiara. What's up, Kiara?
Hello. You
Hello.
better remember me. I was only on here. I was just on here like a few days ago. You better remember
Yes.
me.
Yes, I do remember you now. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that I feel like it's very, very comical that these people in office want to say, oh, ban the illegal immigrants, ban ban the anchor babies being a thing. Yeah, all of them are anchor babies. Not one of them can say that the entirety of their family came here legally. every single one of them has an illegal immigrant as a family member.
Every one of who? White people?
The presidential administration.
Oh, right. Well, it's true. I mean, they
Ted
came over
Cruz
here.
does as
They
well.
wanted to
So does DeSantis.
run their brothels over here.
Yeah. So does Ted Cruz. So does DeSantis. So does uh, Stephen Miller. Well, Stephen Miller is part of the administration. So yeah, the entirety of the people who are running on and banning the ability to come here undocumented quite literally have family members who are here illegally by their standards.
Like I don't mind us, cracking down on people that just come over here without any kind of permission, because that does open yourself up to some problems. But if you've been here for 20 fucking years and you ain't never committed a crime more than like a speeding ticket, why is it even like a problem? I don't get it.
Exactly. When we have people like Marco Rubio's brother-in-law, who has a schmocaine trafficking charge.
Who?
Marco
Rubio's brother-in-law.
Yeah, he has a booger sugar trafficking law charge. And yet, not only is he allowed in the States, he also has his citizenship, thanks to Rubio, and he also has his real estate license, thanks to Rubio.
And let me just pull this up because that's the first time I'd heard that. Reminder that Marco Rubio's brother-in-law was a prolific booger sugar trafficker. That's funny. And the guy he puts in charge is, of course, that doesn't mean that Marco Rubio was doing it. But Marco does like boys, as we know from his history of getting busted with doing grinder things,
Yeah. That being said, I'll drop before the sound goes off.
Oh, I need to turn that volume down. That shit's really loud. Well, thank you, Kiara, for being up here. I appreciate it. Again, we're not gonna open up the panel until we reach the live goal for today. Oh, Kiara did drop. So I don't have anybody requested up, but if you'd like to come up, you're welcome to. So we can discuss Donald Trump's love affair with Mamdani. I don't know. So it's weird that to see people like surprised by Trump being that way, MAGA specifically, because Donald Trump was a Democrat like his whole life until he wasn't. But again, I don't know that the guy has many, if any, core principles. Just, whatever is convenient for him at that time. The fascists loved him when he hated Obama. They loved him when he was shitting on any person of color. And so he's like, hey, I'm going to get in that group. I can just be a chameleon. I'll just repeat what they want me to repeat. He's like a fucking parrot. Just tells people what they want to hear. He's a con artist. Let me get through some of these comments here. When do they take over TikTok? Oh, I already read that. I feel like everyone who still supports Trump is a pedophile or rapist. I mean, Beastmaster, I don't think you're too damn far off. Let's see, Law and BA Evolution. Everyone is an immigrant who isn't native to America. That's right. Of course, they'll tell me that I'd have to leave, I'm sure, because like my tribe, you cannot run for office unless for tribal office, unless you have a certain blood quantum, which, I understand and also kind of sucks for some people because, what's up, Mark Allen?
Hey, man, what's going on?
Not much.
I just want to say that I appreciate your show. I am an ex-Trump supporter, and I just wish that these people that are in this MAGA movement would pay attention to what's going on in the world, because at this point, guys, if you're still supporting MAGA, you're not paying attention. And I think that's the biggest problem in this country, that people just aren't paying attention.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what was the moment for you that you were like, okay, fuck this guy. What the fuck? With
Well, I'm
as
going
it
to tell you,
relates to Trump.
immigration. When he went after the immigrants, and I would walk by. I have a lot of immigrants that live where I live, and I would walk by them, and they would put their heads down like they were afraid of me. That fucking broke me, man, because that's not what I voted for.
Yeah.
We want reform in this country, but I didn't vote for tearing down, tearing families apart, and some of these Mexican people, man, what they're going through is it's fucking wrong, you know.
It is wrong.
And I'm ashamed that I even voted for that POS, And we need to have more empathy in this country because we don't. These immigrants are treated like shit. And we got to stand up for these people because a lot of our parents and a lot of our family were immigrants, And it's fucking time. It's time, guys. We got to do something. And it's just way too. It's too. This is too far gone. This guy's lost his mind. He's just straight up cuckoo. And I just wanted to say, man, I appreciate you. That's all. Keep up the good work.
Well,
and
thank
we're gonna
you.
Fight. And we're gonna fight until. And we're gonna fight until the death, man. I'm telling you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, dude, I appreciate you, being so passionate about that. I wish other people would, do some self-reflection because I feel like a lot of people, if they weren't so, we're winning, like get in that winning bandwagon, I think they could then see it because I think a lot of that they just ignore. Because honestly, the way you felt when you were saying what you were saying, most people, I think, should feel and would feel if they were paying attention. It's crazy, man. What we're seeing.
The other thing, he's pardoning these billionaires, drug dealers. I mean, the people that he's pardoning, it's sickening. It's sickening.
Yep. And then like Khashoggi,
they're not paying attention.
Like Khashoggi brings that dude in there, just blows this guy, the guy that unalived this journalist that dismembered the fucking guy, and he's like, while he's investing, I don't get it. I really don't get it. Well, you're welcome to stay, Mark, because I don't have anybody else that's coming up, so you're welcome to hang out.
It's okay. You know what? I would, man. I'm actually I'm in the hospital right now. I'm actually outside doing some walking. I got hurt a couple weeks ago, but I'm recovering right now. And like I said, I appreciate your show and keep it up.
Well, thanks,
man. Like I said, anybody that sees an immigrant or a brown or black person on the street, you give them a fucking hug. You give them a hug. You tell them you love them. That's what we need, because that's what America's really about. We're compassionate people. We're not pieces of shit like Trump is. Okay? What Trump is making us look like, it's horrible. And the world is watching. And we as Americans, this is not who we are. Okay? And that's all I got to say.
Well, I got to say, I hope you read the comments because you're getting a lot of, appreciation in the comments. So, read through that, man. It takes,
I'm just walking. I'm just walking. I'm not really, I'm trying to walk. I can't really read the comments.
No, right. Well, when you drop, maybe you'll go through them. Yeah. Cause I mean, dude, it's so nice to hear that from a, Trump supporter or was, somebody's like liberal tears or whatever. You're talking to a conservative, man. So, I have to assume you're conservative.
You know what? It's okay. Let these people that say stuff like that, these MAGA people, they're, I thought I was doing the right thing. Okay. I really did. We have a lot of problems in this country on the Democratic and the Republican side. I mean, let's be honest. They're playing right against the left, and it's both parties.
Absolutely.
We need to have everybody independent. We need to be independent. We need to be independent. We need to change this system because we can do it. We have the power. We can't let these MFers keep stealing the power from us. We, the people, have the power, okay? And I want everybody that's listening to understand that. We, the people, have the power, okay?
Fucking
I love
right.
you, brother. I'm out.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Have a good walk.
I'll be back. See you again. I'll be coming up again.
We'll catch you later, man.
Sir.
Peace.
Walking. All right, brother. Peace, my brother. Peace.
Yep. Guys, that guest is awesome. W. Mark, gotta say, I really appreciate that. It takes takes courage to admit that and self-reflect and understand, the role that one plays in the decisions, because everybody's decision has consequences. And if we aren't reflecting on that, then, are we even living? Alyssa, what's up?
Hey, I just woke up. I saw you and I was like, oh, I'm going to say good morning. He doesn't have a full panel right now.
No.
Usually when I scroll by, it's all full, so I don't say hi.
Well, yesterday's numbers were crazy, but my wife is coming in, so I'm not even, like, next week I may not be on much at all, so she'll be in for the week. Yeah.
I'm glad I caught you. So I thought that we traded Fetterman for Marjorie Taylor Greene. And now Marjorie Taylor Greene retired, so does that mean today he goes?
That's funny. Well, I just hope he keeps walking.
He wants to get paid for the holidays.
That may be what he's doing, but I want Fetterman to just keep walking, unassisted, no walker, just keep going, Fetterman, please, please. Yeah, here's my take on this Marjorie Taylor Greene, her resigning. They've got something on her. It makes no sense to me for her to just up and resign like that. Am I crazy for thinking that?
I think she thinks that there's more power for her in a gubernatorial run or something else in the future if she leaves MAGA right now, because she's seen the files. She heard all the witnesses. She knows exactly what's in those files.
So you think she's like, I can't participate in this shit anymore?
Well, she knows what's going to happen to MAGA now.
Well, I mean, it's a train we've seen coming for a little while. I mean, the chickens always come home to roost.
Remember that she totally believed in all the Q stuff, all the MAGA stuff. Like, she was on board 100. And she fought tooth and nail for it. And then now she's realized it's all lies.
Yeah, well, Beastmaster brings up a good point. She made quite a bit on a few trades at the beginning of this year alone, and maybe she was like, well, I became rich.
Yeah, she got $25 million, and now she can...
She said her piece and just can just ride off in the sunset with her horse named Bubba.
I know. I'm gonna send her an email before she goes so I can offer to write her book for her.
Nice.
Because I want to know everything in that book.
Fuck yeah.
I want to know all the parts that get edited out. I'm like, this is the book I want to write.
Yeah. No, I wish there were more people that would come out and just flat out tell people, even at risk of them going to prison.
Well, they don't all know exactly what's in those files, but Nancy Mace. Do I have to go? Nancy Mace. It's giving me anxiety. Stop it. Nancy Mace.
the clock.
Thomas Massey. Yeah. Thomas Massey, Nancy Mace. Like, a few of the Republicans do know what's did listen to the victims, do know what's in the files.
Is that a dog or a pig?
That's my dog. I forgot to give him his treat when I made my coffee. He's pissed.
Okay, that noise kind of sounded a little piggish.
It's a French bulldog. I've always wanted a pig.
Oh, I see. Got the nasal thing going on. Yeah, that's
so
adorable though.
Got a snorty dog. That's
no, it is cute. I remember I used to pick up dog shit for people. It was poop soldiers or whatever it was called. Would go around, people would pay monthly to have you come and clean the poop out of people's backyards. This guy had bought this little baby pig, right? He thought it was going to be one of those little tiny pigs. It was a fucking hog. This thing was massive, but it thought it was a dog because he raised it like a dog. So he's got this massive hog that will literally, he'll get pissed and he'll like bark. He even would bark because of the other dogs to
You're
go
making this
inside.
up right now.
I'm not. This guy was in the military. I mean, I died listening to this guy's story about this fucking pig.
Pig to bark. Did he have other dogs that
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And so the pig thinks it's a dog and acts like
It's
a
like
dog.
Babe.
And I've watched it. And and I would clean up this pile. I mean, massive piles. And I hated going to that guy's house
Oh my
because
God, you should have gotten paid way more for
it,
pig dog.
but no, and his yard was huge. He had like it was at least an acre and
Oh my
holes
God.
everywhere because this pig would root around in his yard. But he was just like, but by the time they realized he wasn't going to stop growing, they'd already fallen in love with this pig. So he just kept the hog around and he'll sleep in the house.
Aw,
Crazy. Yeah, it's
I
pretty
love
crazy.
that.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool. You know, it was an interesting story. Now, I do have somebody coming up. So, Alyssa, if you want to hang around, you're welcome to come back. Also, I
Okay, no, I'm going to
appreciate it.
drink my coffee. I just wanted to say hi because you had so many open spaces.
Yeah,
It's
wide
exciting
open
for me.
spaces like this
I was
song.
like, ooh, I can stop in. Okay, I'll talk
Yeah.
to you later.
All right.
Have a
Oh
great
wait,
day.
actually, they all all the requests went away. So we can stay
We
anyway.
can have coffee together.
Yes, we can do that. And good morning to everybody. Real quick, I'll do a PSA. Guys, we're almost at 10K, which is actually really good. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Let's get to 25K. I do have a gifting goal of 50 donuts. I am hungry this morning, so feed me. And you can help out with the live. And once we reach the live goal, I'll open the panel to everybody. That's $LibLoudmouth and at LibLoudmouth. That's Crash App and Vimo. Let me check and see if no, we're good. Anyway, so what was your thoughts on the
Zoran
on that
meeting?
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, you already knew.
I have a little ADHD, so I just finish people's sentences for them.
That's
and
okay.
I don't mean to. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
So I fucking loved it. Like, I loved every second of that meeting. I was laughing out loud watching it. Just like, he called you this and that. And Trump's like, that's okay. You can say it. I'm like,
Oh yeah, let me. Matter of
South Park
fact,
is going to have the best.
let
South
me.
Park's going to have the best time with that.
I'm gonna go ahead and put. In case you guys haven't seen it, I'm gonna put this up here. Because I did a lot of editing before the show today. I got several clips from it here.
You asked about your comment calling the president a fascist, and your answer was, well, President Trump and I have been clear about our positions and our views. Mm-hmm. Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about.
That's okay. You can just say yes.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
It's easier. It's easier than explaining it. I don't mind.
I mean, so basically, Trump is like admitting, "Yeah, I'm a fascist. You should say it. It's easier than explaining it. Go ahead."
Yeah, because, they had a conversation privately before this where he said, the reason that I call you a fascist, he's like, this is why I said these things, right? And these are the things that, and Trump's probably like, yeah, I do that, right?
Right.
And he's like, but I don't do it with the intention of being a fascist. I'm just trying to help the country. So he explains his side, and Zoran's like, yeah, I understand, right? And so then when they go out, and that happens, Trump has already gotten an explanation of why Zoran thinks he's a fascist, right? And so he's like, it's okay. It's easier than explaining it all.
Right. And this is also interesting. This is a tweet from or a truth from Trump here. Any Jewish person that votes for Zoran Mamdani, a proven and self-professed Jew hater, is a stupid person. And so then we watch him, next to Mamdani, just looking up at him like, "Oh, I love you. I love you, Mamdani."
Yes. So Zoran went there, and I have been on Trump, so I'm sure I have a big place in all of this, because I have been on Trump's social media, and when he said that, you'll find me in the comments saying Jewish people know the difference between a Zionist, a Jewish person, like they know the difference. And I said, ask Stephen Miller. He is a Zionist and a Jew. Like, ask him if you don't understand it, right?
Right.
So I've been commenting on all of Trump's tweets with this, and I'm sure that's totally why he now understands it. But I think Zoran explained it to him.
Yeah, Zoran even flat out right from the Oval Office says that Israel is committing a G-side.
Yes.
And Trump was like,
yeah.
Trump even nods to what he's saying. I was like, what?
Right, because Zoran has facts and Trump has propaganda, right? Like everybody protects Trump from the truth. It's not necessarily Trump's fault that he doesn't know the truth about things, because he only watches Fox News, and it's like this weird, circular thing where he thinks something, it's reinforced by Fox News, and he never grows or learns anything. And so you get Zoran in there, who's well-spoken, brave, and strong, and he
charismatic. And that
Yes.
fucking smile, that smile is like infectious, right?
Mm-hmm.
His smile is very infectious.
Yeah, so Zoran's like, here's why I'm saying what I'm saying. And Trump at this point has already had some issues with Bibi not listening to him, right? So he's not 100% sympathetic. He also has Miriam Adelson donating $200 million to his campaign. And
well, and we had yesterday, I may have that actually still up, this video of, right here. Let me play this again. And if this shit is true, I mean, like, what does Trump do? I don't know, but let me play this real quick. I played it yesterday, but there's a lot more people in today, so.
Listen, every president, from when I joined the CIA, and George H.W. Bush had just become president, the Israelis asked us to bomb Iran. Every single president. No matter who the prime minister of Israel happens to be, you gotta bomb Iran. You gotta bomb Iran. You gotta bomb Iran. And every single president said, no, we're not bombing Iran.
That was former CIA officer and whistleblower John Kiriakou revealing that Israel relentlessly pressured the United States to attack Iran for decades and ultimately succeeded by using direct threats to sway Washington.
We would never bomb Iran because our position was that would be the start of World War III. The reason, though, I'm told, that Donald Trump decided to bomb Iran was that the Israelis said, for the first time, if you don't bomb Iran to take out these deep bunkers, we're going to use nuclear weapons. And they had never threatened that before. And so Trump said, bombing Iran might actually save us from the start of World War III if it keeps the Israelis from using nuclear weapons.
Right. So you're telling me that they just admitted to the President of the United States that they have nuclear weapons and we still do not have them in the IAEA treaty?
I mean, if...
Yeah. So if what this guy's saying is true, I mean... And look, that would not surprise me if Israel did that. And, what kind of position does that put Trump in to have to go through that? Because if you notice, like, he or somebody told Iran that they were doing it beforehand, and they got all their shit out of there. They got all their people out of there. So I felt like that whole booming was for show anyway.
it was all performative. It was like that they got everyone out of there, then they bombed Qatar and they got everyone out of there. And it's like everyone knows what's happening. I think the goal was to destroy the facilities and keep Israel happy in it, right?
Right, without actually sparking something between, Iran and the United States.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
and that would be Russia and the United States, because did you see how mad Russia got? Like, Putin was very mad that Trump did that, and the Russian leaders all came out and spoke out against America in that moment. Yeah. And so it's not like they care about Iran, they care about Russia.
Yeah, well, we went over that agreement with Ukraine yesterday. That shit is wild. That's not gonna fly. Like, did you see all the crazy shit in there? Like, pretty crazy stuff. Now we do have somebody that. Oh, never mind. They just went away. Guys, you guys are welcome to come up here if you'd like. If not, I mean, that's fine too. But I don't know, like, because sometimes I often find myself wondering, like, is Trump really dealing with a lot of weird shit in the background that we don't know about?
Oh, absolutely.
And like, is some of this, playing against those people who are trying to control everything? Because I don't see Trump, unless they've got something on him, I don't see him allowing somebody to threaten him like that. Just because he's an asshole,
Did you see the part where Trump says of Zoran, he's going to change. He's going to change. I've changed a lot.
Yes, matter of fact, I pulled that clip out. We can play that as well. Let me go ahead, and I'm actually glad you brought that up. Because I pulled a bunch of clips out of it, and I'm like, I don't know if I'll use any of them, but here we go.
Greatest economy in the history of our country. We're doing even better now. We're doing much better now than we did even the first term. And I can tell you some of my views have changed. And we had discussions on some things. I'm not going to discuss what they were, but that I feel very confident that he can do a very good job. I think he's going to be. I think he is going to surprise some conservative people, actually, and some very liberal people. He won't surprise them because they already like him.
Yeah. Pretty nuts, right? Of course, I'm thinking to myself, well, what the fuck did Trump change on? Because he only got worse from the first time.
Right, but I think he changed like his views on who was doing what. Like Trump truly believed he would come in day one end the Ukraine-Russia conflict. Like he thought, oh, I know Putin, I can do this, right? But he came in.
You
and
think he really thought that? Like he actually believed that he could just snap his fingers? Like, I'll just blow him under the table. We'll get it done 24 hours.
And then he came up against actual sociopath Putin and was like, whoa, this guy is actually crazy and all this stuff, right? And so he learned after coming in, because in his mind, Putin was on his side. He helped him get elected. He did all this stuff, right? And so then he was like, oh, Putin will do it if I want him to do it, Came in, found out that wasn't true, found out, Bibi doesn't listen to him. He went and did stuff that Trump was saying don't do. Every time Trump, was like, oh, we have a peace agreement, the next day they would start booming again.
Right.
And so Trump is realizing that the people that he thought were like normal people are actually not sane or.
I mean, I don't know, because I've seen no indication of him turning in any way against Putin, because like this deal that they came up with, it's a hand job to Putin.
Right.
Like they're rewarding Russia for it. So, I hear what you're saying, but I don't see the indications that he's adjusted.
You have to remember that Zelensky is the reason that Trump was impeached. It was the transcript of the phone call where Trump was like asking him to investigate his opponents, right?
Right.
And so all of that came out, and so that's why they're all mean to him.
I mean,
that's why they are resentful of him.
Okay, they being who? Resentful of who?
Zelensky. Like they hate Zelensky personally.
Right. You think it's because of that phone call?
MAGA hates him. Yeah. I think it's because of the impeachment. And
I don't think so. I
really?
think they just love Putin. I think they believe everything that man says.
Yeah. And that's part of it too, is like, you have to remember how much all of those right-wing media people were paid by Russia and given Russian propaganda to spread. And then you would see it even in Trump's feed, like he was repeating it. And so they've been entirely propagandized by Russia.
And I think that's been a decades long thing. So I feel like we're getting like competing propaganda where Israel is propagandizing us and Russia is propagandizing us.
Yes.
I don't think they're working together, but that's all we get. It's either Russia or Israel.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, like the history lesson that Putin tried to give that was horseshit. Like, I mean, just, just lying through his fucking teeth, and everybody's like, oh, that makes no sense. Poor Russia.
Well, it reminds me of the South African president who came and Trump was like, look at this footage of the bad people in South Africa that are hurting the white Christian farmers. We have to save all the white Christian farmers. And there's Elon in the audience like, yeah. Right.
Right.
So.
And maybe it's as simple as that. Like, if you're white, that's right. And if not, then they'll, let you go. Maybe it really is that simple.
Yeah. And when it becomes confusing is when both sides are white, right? Like in Russia and Ukraine.
Yep. Now, Alyssa, I'm going to go ahead and drop you down. I've got Bubba up here as requester. Bubba, sorry. I'm still thinking about that fucking email. I got
right,
Global
I'll talk
Jacket.
to you later.
All right, thank you, Alyssa. It was good talking to you. Yeah, we'll see you. Global, sorry, I didn't mean to call you Bubba.
That's good. No worries.
What's up, man?
You want. How's it going?
Well, pretty good.
I was just looking at the clip of Trump and Mamdani and was thinking, isn't this something we should try to be rewarding politicians for, being able to find common ground even when they've got potentially pretty different ideologies?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think Trump actually said something quite honest. He's like, yeah, on the campaign trail, you say a bunch of stuff because it's what helps get you elected. And maybe as the citizenry, we need to be sober about electoral dynamics that incentivize people to do that, rather than maybe dynamics that encourage people to find ways that we can work together and find common ground.
Yeah, have you seen the MAGA meltdown over it?
I'm hearing about it. I'm not way in the depths of those Twitter feeds, let's say.
Yeah, they're not too happy, but no, I agree with you that it is good for Trump to be able to do that. But it was, when he's talking about campaigns, like Mamdani may have been campaigning, but Trump wasn't. And Trump was saying some really fucked up shit about Mamdani. I mean, they called this guy a jihadi communist, which is just crazy.
Yeah, I don't
me.
like that.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. So yes, kudos to Trump for just saying "fuck you." I'll like who I like, and doing it in front of them. Of course, it gives fodder for funny videos like the one I did this morning, because it is kind of funny.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet. I'll check that out.
Yeah, it's Marvin Gaye is part of that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right on.
I mean,
quick question for you. Are you aware of citizen assemblies or any of these participatory democracy structures that put more power in ordinary people's hands?
I mean, you mean like a union of some kind, or just activist group?
Well, a citizens assembly is where you get a demographically representative group of citizens. Normally it's between 30 and 50 people. So if you're in an area that's 60% women, you get 60% women. If it's 20% Latino, you get 20% Latinos, and so on. You can do it across income, home ownership, ethnicity, whatever demographic vectors you want. And then they have to come together for a number of days to learn a particular issue, hear from expertise that's balanced, and then deliberate it and then come up with policy recommendations. So it's a way of giving consequential voice to ordinary people and to get much more lived experience in the room. And it kind of bypasses the donor class and lobbyists and a lot of the corrupting incentives in the current structure.
So you mean like a think tank, but not with rich people running it?
Its closest equivalent is actually a jury. Like when you get a trial by jury, that's randomly selected people that decide something important, like is this person going to go to jail? It's like now they get to decide, what could the best housing policy in our area be, or whatever the policy you want to decide is, and then it can go back to the elected officials to either say yes or to formally respond to it, or in some situations those decisions can be binding.
Well, what's interesting is that that's what our government is supposed to be. A group of citizens that we elect to represent us as, demographically. And it's sad that we have to then separate that, because You know what I mean? Like they've already taken over that part. So if you do put this together, would the billionaires just take that over too?
I mean, it's a good question to be asking. There's 600 of these and more have happened globally. The data so far shows that there's much less interest from the donor class because it's not a permanent political class that they're able to influence, right? It's a bit like a trial. You come together for the trial and then you're done, rather than you think if you're
okay. So
if you're Chuck Schumer and you've been in Congress for 40 years.
It's based on like policy. So you put it together for a certain policy. Once they decide on that, then it gets it goes away.
Yeah,
that's actually a great idea.
I actually flew out to Colorado.
Like a jury. Yeah, that's fucking great, man.
Yeah.
Where did you hear that?
One a couple of months ago. I think it's a powerful thing. I think we need to be checking them out, advocating for them, and maybe even standing them up.
Yeah. So where did you see that happening? Like, was that
I went and observed
country?
the one in Boulder, Colorado. I live in DC, but I lived in Boulder for the best part of a decade and knew this was happening. And it's probably the most diverse room that I've seen in Boulder. And to be honest, it's just, even though they were talking about transit policy, 15-minute neighborhoods, not super sexy stuff, just seeing people in a room talking civilly, hearing each other, sharing perspectives, disagreeing respectfully. It's actually really nice to see that. And people can find common ground. Yeah, like it's like in the way that the polarized politicians can't, sort of ordinary people can. So it's encouraging.
Now, is that written into their city ordinances, or is this just something that's like honorary where the group makes they offer their thoughts on it and then the council takes it in, whatever it is, and they can ignore it or not?
The city has agreed that they will formally respond. I can't remember the specific language, but it's sort of like a bias to yes. Like we'll try to say yes, other than in instances where we can't say no, but they have to formally respond. So best practice is that you have a council or a commissioning authority, like a state government or even a national government, say, hey, yeah, whatever the people say, we'll do our best to implement it. A bit like in the UK, they had the Brexit referendum, right? That referendum was advisory, not binding, but it became binding because the politicians took it seriously. And this has been used on some really big stuff, like at national level. Yeah, in Ireland, they had a debate about abortion and ended up with a constitutional guarantee of a first-term abortion. That is now written into the Irish Constitution.
And that was based on one of those groups?
That was based on, Citizens' Assembly, absolutely. Yeah, and in France, they used it to talk about the right to a dignified end to life. If you have a terminal illness and you're in a lot of pain, are you allowed to say, hey, I want to end my life, but not be, deemed to have committed suicide and not, have the doctors involved get lawsuits? And the French agreed that subject to certain guardrails, people should have a right to end their life with dignity. So basically you can use it for pretty
now
big,
they have those like
questions.
pods that you push your own button and then it sucks out all the oxygen or whatever. I think it fills it up with, what was it, nitrogen? I think is what they were using.
I don't know about that. That's a technique to end someone's life.
Yes, in one of those, I believe in one of the Nordic countries.
Right on.
Yeah. But people took issue with it because for some reason they think that they should force you to live. I don't know. If I'm ready to go, I think that's on me. My body, my choice.
I happen to agree. Yeah, I mean, as long as we can be sure that you haven't been kind of coerced, right? That it is a free choice and that you have the mental faculty to make that choice.
Right.
I think so. I mean, there's a huge business of people in the UK for a long time have flown to Switzerland to do this because it's been legal in Switzerland and not in the UK. But the UK Parliament had a free vote on this last year, and they decided with a decent margin that actually there is a dignified right to end your life. So it's becoming law in most of all Europe, and I think it's been law in Oregon and a few states in the US, and I think at some point it might have to be federally guaranteed. But why not put it to the people? Let them decide.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you're talking about human rights, your personal rights,
yes.
I feel like libertarians would get on board with that, but
yes,
maybe not. American libertarians
people that least like it are maybe the conservatives that have a perspective that that's a godly thing, and really the time of your death is really his business, not yours.
Right.
But obviously, if people are in huge suffering, then I think that's
yeah.
the
Well,
dignity and
that's
rights of the
very
individual have to come into
intriguing.
play.
That's a very intriguing thing. I'm glad you brought that up. I didn't even know that was a thing, but no, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, right on. Well, thanks for hearing me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for coming up. I got Potivity requested up, so I'll go ahead and drop it down. Global, hope you come back.
Good being with you,
we'll
man.
see
Ya.
you. Yep,
Thanks.
peace. All right, Potivity, I see you. And here you come. Boss Lady says we do it in Canada. It's called MAID. What does MAID stand for, Boss Lady? Like, what's the acronym for? That's interesting. Yeah, I like it. What's up, Potivity? How are you?
Oh, I'm good, and I'm worried, and I'm good, and I'm worried, and I'm like oscillating.
Somebody made a video about you.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, the lady we had up the other day that was saying that one guy was being hostile or whatever, and you brought up, having those thoughts about Schindler.
Oh, great.
Yeah, it upsets people. I got several fucking comments, private messages about it. How dare you platform these people? Fuck off.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
not that it matters.
She must have clipped it to make it look like I was really hateful, and
Well, she didn't use any of it. It was just a complaint she made in there, but it was, clearly about you in my panel, but
oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Jeez, what do they expect? Like, we just found out that Kash Patel's girlfriend is an IDF spy and controller. Like, it's like
seriously?
Yeah, Kash
Let me
Patel's
look this up.
girlfriend has a she's with the IDF. Like, she's a top level spy with the IDF, and she's like, I'm sure it's, she just finds him attractive. I'm sure it's not really anything nefarious, right? I mean, he's Kash Patel. He looks like 3/4 of his brain has been removed, and he can't figure out how to work his eyes anymore.
And it's trying to come out of his eye sockets. It's like the brain's trying to get out of his skull.
Well, and like one eye's looking one way for the escape, and the other one's looking the other way for the escape. Like, it's just like, oh my God.
Okay,
I'm sure she's just attracted to him, though, and it has nothing to do with her being a spy with the IDF.
Well, let me see. Alexis Wilkins, longtime girlfriend of Kash Patel, is suing an ex-agent and self-described whistleblower for defamation, alleging he called her a former Israeli spy whose relationship with Patel is a honeypot operation. The defendant, Kyle Seraphin, has maliciously lied about Wilkins. So she sued somebody for making the allegation you're making right now. She's suing somebody currently.
Oh, it was a video that somebody covered. Yeah.
Wilkins is seeking at least $5 million in damages. The suit was first reported by Reason. Her legal complaint comes in on Seraphin's comments on the Kyle Seraphin show. Patel has had his own little honeypot issues, been going on as of late, blah, blah, blah. He's got a girlfriend that's half his age. And she's also a former Mossad agent, but I'm sure that's totally because she's like looking for like a cross-eyed, kind of thickish built, super cool bro who's almost 50 years old, who's Indian in America, Seraphin said sarcastically. So I feel like she would not be suing.
It might be just like the Donald Trump lawsuits where, he sues people, but they have all the receipts. So this guy may have all the receipts, and she's just trying to shut down that conversation. Who knows? I don't even know anymore.
I mean, I don't know, because that'll open up, if he pushes back on it, it'll open up discovery. And, I don't know. I don't think it's a huge leap to say that, because let me look up her Alexis Wilkins. That's her name, isn't it? Alexis Wilkins.
Well,
So
that
this
is her changed name. Like, she had a different name, even
I'm trying.
according to the guy. So it's like, yeah.
Okay, so this is.
But it's all over the internet, like Instagram, and the guy is showing receipts when he.
So this is her.
Yep.
And she's with Crazy Eyes. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't have any evidence to support that claim, so I will reserve comment for that. I don't know.
Yeah,
So-
she's got the person who made the receipt showed all kinds of paperwork and all kinds of stuff to trace her back and show what she had done. And she went and I guess she got educated in Israel, and then she joined the, intelligence agency, and yeah, and then she ends up, kind of ironically with the head of the FBI in our country, being flown around on our taxpayer dollar to different fun events.
Court filings. Wilkins is an American-born Christian country singer and political commentator who was raised in Arkansas and has never been to Israel. The conspiracy theories largely stem from Wilkins' affiliation as a presenter with the conservative education company PragerU, whose CEO, Marissa Straight, previously served in an Israeli intelligence unit, the IDF. There's no evidence linking Wilkins to this aspect of the CEO's past. When directly asked on the Megyn Kelly show, Wilkins firmly denied being a spy, calling the claims a firm no.
Well, of course. I mean, if she said, "Oh yeah, I am a spy," like, who's going to admit that? That's a bad spy, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, true, but do we have? If we don't have any evidence,
if you admit you're a spy.
Well, if we don't have any evidence of it, saying that it's
that's what they teach you in spy school day number 1.
Well, I mean, if we don't have evidence that she is, even circumstantial, which, a CEO of PragerU or whatever, and her working with PragerU is not, I don't think that's enough,
I've got a whole problem with PragerU, like a whole.
Well, yeah, it certainly is a problem.
Yeah, I mean, they are propaganda, misinformation, and craziness.
Well, what all evidence have you seen that Alexis is a Mossad agent?
The evidence that they showed on their video was paperwork of her past employment, and the fact that she herself was schooled in Israel, and that she then joined the intelligence agency, and she was like, they gave her like an official ranking. They said she worked in department like 80 MF, like there was like a number associated with it, and they showed her employment record, and yeah, it was for an Israeli intelligence agency. It's like, good, how much more receipts do you need?
Okay, so Alexis Wilkins' employment record.
It was Kash Patel's girlfriend's employment record that they showed, and it was like, yeah, it was a clear line, and you were like, holy crap, because they have to know. I mean, hey, when somebody's dating the head of the FBI director, I'm sure they do a full background check, right?
Of course. Well, were they dating before he became the FBI director?
I don't know, but maybe that's why he became the FBI director.
In 2023.
He said, "This is who I want. I'm going to pay you." Because we know Trump's for sale, so he might have said, I mean, where did Kash Patel come from? Like, whoever like went, oh,
well,
yeah,
he was a troll online. He was a troll.
That's the perfect guy for the FBI. Who told him that? Probably Netanyahu. Like,
yeah, I mean, I'll look into it, but with that, I'm gonna have to go with I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, but holy shit, like we have these crazy things everywhere going on, and I do not put it past any of.
Yeah, I mean, it's not beyond the realm of possibility. It wouldn't surprise me. We've seen that in the past. Kind of like Erica Trump. I mean, or Erica Trump. I always say Erica Trump.
Yeah.
Yes, that's another one. Yeah,
she's got this whole history that's like sus,
Right, and the the way she acts thereafter.
We're in the hands of foreign enemies. I think we're in the hands of foreign enemies right now. That's what
I agree. I agree with you on that. Well, Poetivity, I've got Uncle Ben. He's requesting up, and I haven't spoken to this man in a while, so let me go ahead and drop you down. I appreciate it. I'm just doing singles at this
I
moment.
appreciate what you do,
Yep.
and
Thank you.
good to see you. And I'm going to go see my grandkids today. So
Awesome. Well, have fun with that, and hug them hard. Not too hard.
I do. We play. We have nothing but fun.
All right, we'll see you, Poetivity. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye. All right, let me bring in Uncle Ben. I hope it wasn't an accident. Uncle Ben, I haven't seen you in forever. What's up, man?
Yeah, I've had a lot of health issues.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, it's, old age. I'm going to be 77 in February. Partial amputation of my foot and some heart problems. But you know what? I accept it. Keep trucking, keep moving forward.
Yeah, what else can you do?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so did you want to address something that you heard or?
Yeah, you know what? I've been hearing this narrative, and I think it primarily, I hear a lot from one guy in particular. I don't know if I'm allowed to mention any names here.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. I otherwise I don't know.
This guy Raz, R-A-Z.
Raz, like on TikTok.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
He and a bunch of other guys they're constantly saying that the boomer generation is the most selfish generation ever. And I'm like, you know what? I just ain't buying this shit. I mean, we were the economic engine that built this economy and built this structure. Not only that, but built a lot of stuff with our hands. And we always took care of our neighbors. We participated in civil rights and women's rights and a lot of other stuff that was unselfish. So it really kind of pisses me off that this guy keeps on blowing his horn and then other guys are chiming in. I'm sitting there like, wait a second, man. I wasn't raised that way. And most people I know from my generation aren't like that. So I tend to think, well, wait a second. I wonder if this asshole served his country because we had to. We didn't have a choice in the matter, except for the fact that you had the, bone spur country club elitists like Trump who could buy their way out of it. So if anything is selfish from my generation, it's their leader. He's the poster boy of not serving and self-serving.
You're talking about Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what would you say to the fact that that generation holds over 50% of the wealth and don't make up 50% of the country? Like, they did benefit a lot from, when colleges were cheap, when you could work, one job essentially and take care of your family. And now oftentimes browbeat the younger generations, calling them lazy, yet they don't have the same opportunities, that you guys had when you were younger. What do you say about that? Because I don't know that I'd call anybody selfish or a generation selfish. That seems silly to me, but
well, of course, yeah, I agree with you. I mean, there's most of these guys who have done extremely well for themselves came from my generation, and a lot of them are greedy bastards. I can't make any excuse for them. And they birthed that whole idea, of being that greedy and whatnot. But it's not all of us are selfish. That's my point.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's absolutes are kind of ridiculous. So I don't know if that Raz person you're talking about, are they saying literally every boomer is that way, or were they just generalizing?
Generalizing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just upsetting to me. I mean, we've done a lot of great things too, but
I
he
mean,
doesn't recognize those unselfish things. So
that's true.
historically, I mean, speaking.
So the boomer generation is what, like ends in what, 64?
I think so. I was born in '49, in February. So yeah, it's.
So Bush would have been, W would have been a boomer, right? He was a boomer.
I think
What
so.
about Obama? Was Obama a boomer? When was he
I
born?
I I don't know when he was born. I have said many times on different panels that I apologize for my generation because of a few who have not only done well, but done well and not done anything with their wellness. You know what I mean? They haven't contributed back other than, you know, um, look, there was most, you think about it, Tim, most of the people from my generation, they they were gave birth to strong generational wealth. And you know what? A lot of them were tradesmen. They weren't executives. They were tradesmen. Bricklayers, plumbers, carpenters, high steel workers, and for um, um, these skyscrapers, etc. They made good money, and they made smart choices, and they put their money aside for their kids so they can go to school, etc. And um, so they can do well. And then, when they passed, they left something behind to where they could divvy up whatever it was, and that's generational wealth to build for their kids.
Well,
So,
I, I like didn't trades like peak, and then a lot of those boomers pushed their children to go into college that
yes.
that ended up becoming too expensive, and
Yep.
then they got in the White House and they took us to war. They
Yep.
passed things like the Patriot Act. So like I don't know, like of course blaming something on a generation does seem silly. Just on the face of it, but that group of people, it was, I don't know. They brought us a lot of terrible things to this country.
I agree. I agree. But like every generation, there you're going to have that exception. So I'm sort of defending the guys that I can relate to in terms of doing the right thing. That was a phrase when I was a kid, doing the right thing, which came out of the civil rights movement. Do the right thing, and that's how we were raised. Doing the right thing means making a choice that's not just good for you, but good for everybody else. You know, and
Yeah.
there was.
So your defense of boomers is what exactly?
It's not all of this, don't lumping. I call it lumping.
I see.
When you just lump everybody together and just castigate them. I said, you know what? Enough of that shit. No lumping here. I mean, for as many assholes who fuck things up, there's a lot of good people who make contributions that changed the society in this country. Like I said, again, civil rights movement, gay rights movement, things like that. That was all part of my generation. So,
You think gay rights was part of your generation?
well, no, I mean, yeah, activists. people who spoke up for people who were gay and whatnot.
Was it though? I'm pretty sure that was millennials.
No, it started back. It started back then.
Well, it was interesting because you had like the counterculture, the hippie movement and stuff, and then after that, it's almost like those people forgot and then went on to do the things that they railed against when they were younger. Like that's my read of it.
I remember it being part of the narrative when I was young. Back from the service, I remember it being part of the narrative. So I'm not. Maybe it wasn't as loud as it was in the millennial period, but it was discussed and debated a lot when I was young and back from Vietnam.
Yeah, which was an absolute disaster. Yeah, I don't know if I would characterize the boomers as the one that pushed gay rights, because whenever I was a kid, we didn't understand it, and our parents often were homophobic, and my parents were boomers. My whole family, I mean, everybody I knew that was that age just eyeballed us like we were sickos and what have you. So I don't know, but maybe I'm remembering it wrong. Well, Mama J, I brought you in because maybe you're a part of this generation as well. I'm not sure.
I'm at the tail end of the boomer generation.
Did you want to weigh in on this? And
I am disappointed in our generation. I really am. Our parents were from the greatest generation, right? And what heroes they were, right? And they not only were they heroes on a battlefield, but they left us with, it was their generation. They brought in Social Security, right? They gave us Medicare. It was the greatest generation. We had infrastructures. And at that time, we had some of the best education in the world at affordable college. And then the boomers come along, and we want to take all of that away. We don't have affordable college. We, you want to get rid of health care and Social Security and all these things that help make us great. And that's all. That's my generation. We are leaving nothing behind but a large debt, climate change, and unhealthy people.
What do you think the difference was before with the previous generation to the boomers?
I don't know. I think every one of the boomers at one point was dropped on their head. I have no idea what the difference is. It's just plain selfish. It's so selfish.
That's the word I hear again.
Every generation has built this country and left something positive behind. And the boomers will go down as not doing anything. We started off right, didn't we? I mean, we protested the Vietnam War and injustice and women's rights and
racism.
We started out right, and then we just took a nosedive.
Well, I tend to agree again for the leaders, so-called leaders of Titans or whatnot, who didn't do the right thing politically, etc. But as a whole, I can't agree with all of them. Again, I don't want to be lumped in with these greedy, self-serving guys like the DJT, as I was saying. They're his type who developed all these market mechanisms to make themselves richer and whatnot. Yeah, of course that sucked, but there's a whole lot of people that below that always took care of their neighbors, took care of their kids, again, created generational wealth. They didn't just keep that money for themselves. They built a life for their kids.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a lot of goodness
For their own, but for nobody else. Because for
But
everybody else that didn't have generational wealth, they got fucked by those people.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, think about that. Like you do very well as a boomer, and I'm generalizing. Obviously, this isn't true for everybody. And they pass down stuff to their kids, and then they bitch about the unalive tax. Oh my God, the government's taking this. I should be able to leave it to my people. So they start working all this stuff. But when it came to everybody else and the things that were good that helped everybody else, they were like, no, fuck you. It's only my kids.
yeah, me, myself, and I,
Right. That's
and nobody else.
I've been on panels, and I've started my conversation by apologizing for what my generation did to fuck up this whole thing. But again, just in finality, is not everybody was like that, and even to this day, there's a lot of people who are just giving people who really, really cared about environment. They cared about racism. They cared about this stuff, and they protest. They brought protesting to the forefront.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of the way I live my life. As an example, I put 4 young single women through college that weren't even my kids. 4.
Awesome. That is awesome. And that's what America's supposed to be about, right? If you want a great society, what makes us different from the animal kingdom and those societies that don't thrive is in the animal kingdom, if you break your leg, you're done for, right? There's no survival. But in humanity and in a nation, if you break your leg, you are not done for. We should be taking care of each other. That's what makes societies great. That's what makes a nation great. If is feeding the hungry, healing the sick, educating our kids, and moving the nation as a whole upward, not stepping on people when they're down.
Yes.
We don't do humanity in the human race. We should not be doing the survival of the fittest. That's the animal kingdom. Darwin says that's this is Darwinism, right? He says in humanity, in culture with humans, what makes humanity different from the animal kingdom is we take care of each other, and we're not doing that here.
Yeah, well, so I find this an interesting discussion because I don't often view things through the lens of generations, but Uncle Ben brought up, I think, a salient point because when as I think about all the things that boomers have done for this country, it's not good. Because like basically every bad thing that has come throughout my life, both in my childhood and through adulthood, has been the result of boomers. I mean, largely. Of course, not everybody is going to be that way, and that's why maybe it seems weird to me to look at it through a lens of generations. But I don't know what the hell happened. What the fuck happened to that generation that had so much? They had all these opportunities. Well, mostly white people from that generation, but they had so much, and then right, and they had the whole counterculture thing, and they went through all of that, and then turned right around and said, "No, fuck that! I'm getting me mine and for myself," and so I wouldn't categorize it as selfishness. But maybe that is accurate. I don't know. I know you take issue with that, Uncle Ben, and that was your chief complaint. But as I think about it, maybe that word is accurate.
Well, I'm going to take it on a personal level.
Sure.
All right. So you're in high school. You're 18 years old when you graduate, or younger if you're like skipped a grade or something like that. And you're looking forward to a future where, maybe my parents can't afford to send me to college. Maybe they can, depending on what their status in life is. And then all of a sudden, the government comes in, and you're not fully developed as a young man. You're not even. You're 18. That's emphasis on teen. You're still a freaking teenager, and they send you off to war, and within a year you see things that nobody should see in the entirety of their life, and have to carry that around. I recently, because somebody encouraged me to put in for disability for with the VA after 55 years, and they have totally fucked me over on that. But when I came home and got off the plane back from Vietnam, I had an officer encourage me to wear civilian clothes.
So as not to draw ire from the crowds, I assume. Yeah, I mean that was fucked up, and maybe that was the reason that the boomer generation flipped, because of the Vietnam War and the trauma that came from that. I can't imagine what it was like, what that was like. You know that. Yeah, let me get around the room here. I haven't met my goal, not even close. But I've found this to be intriguing. I'd like to hear from other people because I never really thought about it that way. So let me get to JT. Thank you for being patient. JT, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm 75. I've been around a little while. I remember Kennedy. I was in 7th grade and he got assassinated, his brother. I think he was assassinated because of him trying to give the blacks some civil rights and all that. Nixon comes in with Kissinger, gets us involved with China as a third world country and gives them all the breaks of a third world country. I don't think that's ever been taken away from them, and now they've taken advantage of everybody. We go to Bush. We go to Bush, who created the Patriot Act that allowed us to go into 33 countries without declaring war and bomb them if we wanted, under the word of treason. I can't even think of the word I'm using, but anyway, they were bad people. Anyway, then we have Obama come in and put Patriot Act on steroids. He dropped 97,000 bombs on 7 different countries. I don't know what the hell that was for. And we just, each president after that brings a policy that they think is going to change the world and change the country. We don't really know who these people are. We don't know who was behind Obama and his crew. We don't know what happened with Biden. I don't think Biden was ever competent to be president. I think he brought in all of Obama's crew. I don't know what they did overseas. Trump's the first one that actually defied them all, creating his own idea of what the world should be and economy should be. He's stopping wars. He's doing a few other things.
Okay, let's land the plane.
Huh?
Land the plane, please.
I'm going to. I hear everybody complaining about things, especially about the rich. Well, without the rich, we don't get that tax money to do things we want to do. So turn around and make money like they did. That's all. Quit complaining about what somebody else has and figure out how to make it work. I got into the workforce after 18 years of a situation I was in.
All right. Okay. Michael, go ahead.
Yes, hi. First of all, thank you for bringing me up. I'm from Sudan, and it seems I'm gonna talk to the topic, but it's really connect to the Trump and MAGA, because here, and thanks for talking about Sudanese people. I listened to you many times a while ago, and stand up for Sudanese. The thing is here, when Donald Trump, he sent a special counselor to the Middle East and Africa, which is Masoud Bals. And Bals, he speak by the name of White House and by the name of Donald Trump, and supporting the militia because they had a business in the UAE, which is the real estate, crypto coins, and all of that. So they would not say to the UAE, stop supporting those militia. They do genocide in Darfur and in Fasher. And Sudan was crying 2 years ago, please stop this militia before to do the G-side in Sudan. But nobody cares. It's a corrupted. But thank you for bringing me up. The point I came here, guys, just to say one thing. We believe in you, American citizen, because with your voice and with your vote, you can stop this corruption. And you can stop all the G-side going through the Sudan. Because UAE, they're stealing the gold from Sudan and supporting this RSF. There is a many reports from Washington Post, a senator, they spoke about
Land
that.
your
They
plane,
have to
please.
stop. Oh, thank you.
Well, we weren't talking about that. I appreciate the gravity of that situation over there. It's disgusting. We did pull up the streets that are just covered in blood so much so that you can see from fucking satellite images what's happening over there is absolutely atrocious. And it does need to stop. Unfortunately, this fucking president isn't going to do it. But we were discussing a different topic. So that was the only reason why I
I
started
do
bringing more
appreciate
people
that.
up.
And that's why I
Yeah.
said I'm going to bring myself down. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate it. Poetivity, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to say thank you to Uncle Ben's generation, and in particular Uncle Ben, not the person who was up previously, because they are the problem. This is again us being caught in our politics. And Uncle Ben, I, as a woman, born in the 1960s, born when my parents said you have a choice to be a nurse or a teacher, and the abortion was still illegal at that time, and we got that you guys, your generation, protested for our rights and won them, and we're out there on the streets changing things and opening the vote and trying to eliminate racism in this country. And we came a long way until this president, Donald J. Trump, attempts to take us backwards to the Republican version of that, or the conservative version of that America that I was born into. And I just want to say thank you for that. And it is, I do honor my elders, even but just those that make wise decisions, not unwise decisions. And to the person who was up here previously, Joe Biden was an amazing president. He was fully cognizant. He had thought for 50 years what he would do.
Okay, land your plane, please, Poetivity. Go ahead and land your plane.
And to not give him credit for the good things that he did is atrocious when we have a president who's tearing our country down to the ground.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And, just snap your fingers and get out there and make money. That's the answer to it. Yeah, I assume you were talking about JT. Johnny, go ahead.
Hey, good morning, Liberal. Good morning, Poetivity, Uncle Ben. That's a really heated debate. I feel very triggered, not by you, Uncle Ben, but by that other guy that came up that said he was 75 years old. The old pull yourself up by your bootstraps mentality.
Right.
Bullshit. I mean, millennials have been browbeat, literally, like you said, Liberal, for 20 fucking years. We were ashamed to call ourselves millennials. And we bought into this bullshit rhetoric that we need to get in the game, get in the rat race, figure out how to, sucker everybody else, because that's the only way to get ahead. Never give a sucker an even break, right? I mean, we all talk about how it's evil that the Chinese are doing this Belts and Roads initiative trying to seek permanent renters, yet boomers are fucking owning 6, 7, 8, 9, who knows how many fucking houses, putting them on Airbnb. And, which in my opinion is the sleaziest, easiest way, get rich scheme for people that actually don't produce anything for the economy besides padding their own freaking pockets. And
that's right.
I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything against Vietnam veterans. Millennials, by the way, have been the staunchest supporters of Vietnam vets because we know how you guys were treated. Millennials fought in freaking Iraq and Afghanistan. And I'm sorry, but a large majority of the boomer generation did not fight in Vietnam. But Uncle Ben, thank you for your service.
Yeah, thank you, Johnny. I appreciate that. This is, and I'd like to stay on this because I don't know, for some reason I find this particular topic fascinating. I don't think we've ever talked about generational problems before. So, Ben, would you like to respond to all that? Go ahead, Uncle Ben.
Thank you. I didn't realize my mic was muted, Tim.
Yeah, I went through and muted everybody because somebody had background noise. I wasn't sure, so I just muted everybody except for the guy that was talking. But go ahead, I'll put your time back.
Yeah, again, thanks for kind words, folks, but I appreciate it. I started counting 5 years ago. I started counting and assigning a number to a person who said, "Thank you for your service to me." And I got up to 111 times in 5 years. Well, actually 111 times in 55 years. Do the math on that one. How many times people actually said that? When you come home, you have people in your own family giving you side eye, won't even talk to you. But we went out, we did it, we worked hard, we tried to be good neighbors, help each other out, and do the right thing. Unfortunately, those who had it better than me fucked this whole thing up, and I apologize for them.
Yeah, no, it's I don't thank people for their service, and it not because I'm not thankful for what people do, but I always felt like, and correct me please if I'm wrong, I've always felt like a lot of people say it and it's so superficial. Like they don't, it's something you say, right? Like, hey, what's up? Even if how you doing? Even if you don't care. And a lot of people say that, and I feel like if I'm saying that out of like just I was in the military, thank you for service, it's superficial. I don't know. Do you ever take it that way? Like,
no, I don't.
You've never taken it. Do you know anybody that takes it that
I know
way?
what you're saying. I feel the same way, liberal.
Yeah, because I'm like,
I say thank you for your sacrifice, because when they come home from war for the rest of their lives, they deal with mental and physical disabilities, possibly, and emotional hardships. And it was a sacrifice that you gave for your country, not just service.
yeah, Miss Chaos said my husband thinks it's awkward sometimes. Yeah, and that's always how I've taken it. It's like, I'm sure they hear this all the time because every time, I mean, I'll hear it a lot in a daytime, just conversation that I see in Walmart. Two people don't even know each other. It's like, serving in the military or having a hat.
I won't say it to every vet.
Yeah.
I won't say it to every vet. I'll say it to sincere vets. That's it.
Yeah. Like if it's contextual, that they, I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. Maybe I'm overthinking it probably, but I don't know. I just felt like it's superficial for a lot of people. Like they say it because they feel like they have to say it. I don't know.
I hear it mostly from really young people, in their early 20s and younger. That's who I hear it mostly from. And I don't know if they understand the relevance and what went on back then, but I could hear it in their tone of how they say it.
Yeah. Have you ever had anybody say, "I'm sorry"?
No.
How would you feel if somebody said that to you? Because, Vietnam War, Iraq War, a lot of that was, based on lies.
No, I've never had anybody say that. Nobody really wants to get into that kind of discussion with an old guy anyway.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that's something that you probably wrestled with, right? The questions that you would ask yourself, like, what was the point of that? Have you ever asked yourself that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Anyway, we're getting off topic, I guess. I don't know. It was a thing that came to my mind. I think you were the last one to speak, right, Ben?
Yeah, I just want to finalize something with Tim. You're always straight up with me, and I like that a lot. You know, it's you have challenging questions and whatnot, and you stand firm to your convictions. And if even if I don't align with you on certain topics or whatnot, or agree, I always respect you for the what not only what you say, but how you say it. You're a really good man in that regard. I appreciate you for that.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, I've always liked you being up here. I know that at first when you started coming, you were self-conscious about, not being able to get your words out, but I've always found your words to be inspiring.
Oh, thanks, man.
And appreciate it. I mean,
Well,
if we listened more to people who have been through a lot, maybe we'll be better off.
Well, I agree, especially for those who had those interruptions in their life where they didn't have a choice, and then as a result of it, then you had to reap the backlash of it all, where it wasn't even you didn't have a choice; you had to do it. I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah. Now, Miss Chaos had a question. I think this may have been to Johnny. Miss Chaos said, "What is a sincere vet?" Because I think you were the one that said that. What do you mean by that?
Okay, what I'm saying is, and I'll say this unashamed, unabashed, you can sign up for the military just like you could sign up to be a welder, just like you could be a mechanic for 40 years. It doesn't mean that you had to go through something like Uncle Ben or somebody that, let's say, was extremely patriotic, signed up in wartime, for a cause that was found out to be a complete sham and a lie. People like Ben that came home and were spit on by their own friends and family when they were literally drafted. Okay, and then you've got somebody. Oops. Oh, and then you've got somebody that, was a turd when they joined, they were a turd while they were in, and they treated people like absolute garbage, and they run around with, no combat, nothing like that, and talk about how they're, Captain America. So yes, I can judge character. Just being in the military doesn't give you a blanket, anti-discrimination clause for your character.
Well said.
I was about to go to you, Ben, and ask what you thought about that. Because have you seen guys that are like that, where they think they can say atrocious things, and because they're in the, they were vets, that they get a pass? Have you ever seen that?
Well, you know what? Combat veterans have really good radar. We can sniff out a bullshit really easily, because the more a guy talks about his combat experience, the more you realize he was probably an administrator. You know what I mean?
He was the IT guy.
Yeah,
you were running cable, or we were out there doing night raids.
Right. When we were younger, you never saw a Vietnam veteran wear camouflage hats, anything, nothing. Why? Because it was a target. It was a moving target. We didn't do that. We didn't do any. We had what we call a canteen and a carbine. Is what these guys, younger guys who actually were in combat. They had flak vests. They had all the outfits and all that stuff. We didn't have any of that stuff. Same with World War II and Korea and whatnot. So it's really easy to spot a non-combat veteran who thinks that they are a combat veteran, and they probably vote conservative.
Get him. That's funny, Ben. Now, thank you. I appreciate that perspective, though. Poetivity, I believe you'd be next. Go ahead, Poetivity. Well, Johnny, actually,
hey,
you
Mr.
answered
F.
a question, so I guess you can get your time. Go
Give
ahead.
Poetivity the floor.
Okay, Poetivity, go ahead.
Oh, I was born like right at the end of the Vietnam stuff, and kind of saw the repercussions and even like the backlash against people who were protesting. It went both ways. The country was very divided, and we had a whole lot of issues that kind of mirror what's going on today. Only now it feels like we have turned so much power and wealth over to the super wealthy that I don't know how we're going to get out of it this time, you know?
Well,
You can take the rest of the timer.
they would tell you that the answer to that is to let them be the ones to make all the decisions. Like, well, we're the ones that knew how to get all the money, so let us answer those questions. Yeah. I guess we stepped away from the generational stuff. So what is the consensus here, do you think? Boomers, selfish, or no? If you think selfish, put it in the comments. If you think no, put no.
You know what? I'm gonna chime in here. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I say absolutely. You know, but just again, it's not all of us. It's not the way I was raised.
Sure.
And a lot of friends like that I have are the exact same way. So most of my friends also are Vietnam veterans. So, but no, not mostly, yeah.
Yeah, I know the Vietnam War always fascinated me when I was younger because, God, I just can't imagine the worst
Hold on,
conditions.
I gotta give my husband a call, and so you can drop me.
All right, thank you for being up, Poetivity. I appreciate it. We'll see ya. Now, oh, Johnny took off. Well, let me get to Eucalyptus. Welcome in, Eucalyptus. Go ahead.
Thanks for having me up. How are you?
Doing fine, doing fine. How are you?
Not bad. I see your your green screen there. Trump smitten with Mamdani. I came up to talk about that.
Yeah, by all means. Here, I'll put your time back. Go ahead.
I think Mr. Mamdani put on a clinic yesterday for everyone on how to deal with people you also have plenty of disagreements with. You know, the guy went up there. He focused on what they agree on, and that was the only focus. And was able to basically surprise, I would say, the whole world with that response. As you can see, my profile picture is now Trump's giddy face. This face is going nowhere. It's going to be on my profile photo for a very long time. You know, this guy, he's not a very intelligent guy, and Mamdani is a chess player. So what we witnessed yesterday is something everyone should pay attention to, I believe, when dealing with bigots like Trump.
Yeah, I mean, he turned his ass quick, didn't he? It was pretty crazy to watch. I put together a Marvin Gaye homage video. Let's get it on. Trump at one point literally looked over at this man's junk for like a long time, an uncomfortable amount of long time. He's like, "Bubba, is that you?" Crazy. I'm sorry, but that's funny to me. That was Eucalyptus, right? Thank you for that. No, it was good. Pink, what's up, man? Go ahead.
Hey, good morning, everyone. I appreciate your space and thank you for accepting my request.
Yeah.
Hey, military service is not a merit badge, and it is not an automatic seat of authority. There's insight, there's experience, there's perspective, there's understanding, there's growth that is valuable from service. But military service is not a merit badge. It's not a tin badge to be flashed. That's it. Thank you.
Yeah. No, and now, real quick, because somebody asked, did he? So I muted this because this was the video I made this morning. I muted it, but what is he looking at? He straight up was eyeballing it. Pun intended. Anyway, sorry, now I lost train of thought here. Beastmaster. I'm surprised he wasn't drilling all over the place. Johnny, go ahead.
Yeah, so I definitely was not trying to shit on veterans. I mean, the original question was boomers, and we just happen to have a Vietnam vet on the panel. So, I mean, they're obviously intertwined, but my perspective is, why does it take somebody young, like 31 years old, like Charlie Kirk, to, go on somebody's show like Tucker before he was unalived and say that America needs 10 million new homes and private equity should not be able to get their hands on them. Now, there's a good book called The History of the United States in 5 Crashes, 1907, 1929, 1987, 2008 and 2010, literally every time there's a new financial term or invention, the economy booms and busts. And like I'm saying, somebody like Charlie Kirk was 31 when he came up with this idea to go after corporations using non-ideological standpoints, like Theodore Roosevelt using the Sherman Antitrust Act, when boomers literally have been watching, waiting. Granted, you didn't have the media, you didn't have social media, you didn't have the means of communication, but you could see the signs, you could see what was happening. And I feel like you are forced in a position like they're trying to force, younger generations into this position. Like, hey, get in the stock market, even though you don't know anything, and there's an 80% chance you're going to lose everything you have. We want to tokenize everything. You guys used to be the generation that the buck stops here. Let's get back to that and stand up for the youth of the nation.
Okay. Thank you, Johnny. I'm just gonna let this sucker ride, but Bunny, did you mean to come up? I don't think Bunny did. Bunny,
My name and no.
I'll drop you down because I heard some talking, but I couldn't understand what it was, so I muted
Sorry,
you.
I'm tapping and making my Lego bunny.
No, you're fine. You're fine. That's funny. You hopped up in here like it was.
I mean, I tend to do it.
Yeah.
It's a sign of someone tapping with such reverence. Yeah, there we go.
That's funny. All right, well, I'll drop you down. Thank you, Bunny, for tapping. I appreciate it. All right, we'll see you. That's funny. Now, every time Bunny comes up, it's it's from accidental tapping. Anyway, we got somebody else coming in. Matthew. Ramsey Whack. Matthew, what's up? Go ahead. Matthew took off. Okay. Does anybody want to jump in at any point about anything?
Yeah, Mr. Loudmouth Liberal.
Yes.
What do you know about Mamdani's father?
Not much.
I would highly recommend you look up one of the many books he has written, and it'll give you a much better understanding about Zoran and the type of man that he is. He was kind of molded for a position like this. You got to check it out. You could read the titles out if you'd like for your listeners. He's a professor at Columbia. He's also a director of governmental studies at Columbia right now. Currently, I'm pretty sure he's still there. And I don't know if you've heard the story of how Mamdani got his rise. Are you aware of it?
Nope.
So, long story short, have you ever been to New York?
Yes, many times.
So, have you ever noticed the taxi medallions for the famous New York taxi cabs? They have this special medallion license they get to keep on their vehicle so they can conduct business.
I never used a New York taxi because I was always in a big truck.
Okay, so they have these medallions. They're exclusive. They're basically like, hey, this is the real deal New York taxi cab. Long story short, at one point, the city decided to stop issuing new medallions and start holding auctions for older medallions once they were, no longer used. So they hiked up the prices of these medallions up to over $1 million per medallion, which was wild because a taxi cab driver can't afford $1 million medallion to get into business. So they were taking out loans to be able to bid on these things and win them. Long story short, once Uber and Lyft came out, the value of the medallions deflated. They got down to as low as like $100,000, leaving these taxi cab drivers with loans on assets that had no value anymore. So they were underwater. And basically, these taxi cab drivers, they started protesting. They started protesting against the city and holding different types of events to bring attention to this. And they didn't know how to get out of this rut where they were just stuck, not being able to sell these medallions because they were so far underwater after the city inflated the prices. Long story short, Mamdani was an assembly member at the time, and he decided to go on a hunger strike with the taxi cab drivers. And this pushed the city to do a bailout for the taxi cab drivers, and he saved the entire taxi cab industry in New York with that act. He went on a hunger strike for 2 weeks, brought attention to it, and got the government to move, and made some real change on the ground. This really propelled him. The taxi cab drivers in New York absolutely love him. He fought for them, and it made him popular. So that's how he got his, his attention, awareness of who Zoran is, and the fact that he can actually accomplish things for people on the ground.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, no, I wasn't aware of that. I just listen to people's policies, and I either like it or I don't. Ben, what are your thoughts of Mamdani? Do you like Mamdani?
Yeah, I do. I think he's very articulate, and I like the fact that he is representing the great city of New York, and maybe can bring some fresh ideas and fresh blood to it. But he'll be tested hardcore because of some of the embedded traditions there. But I think he's smart enough to adjust and adapt, because usually politicians, once they get in office, they have to sort of back off of their stump speeches a little bit, and sort of they get a real understanding of how the inner workings are, and they have to adjust their narrative a little bit. So, but I think he's light of foot to where he's going to be able to do that and implement some of the change and things and ideas that he wants to do. I like the guy. I think he's dynamic.
Yeah, one of the things I loved is whenever they were going around the room asking everybody about, where's the first place you're going to go? And everybody's like, I'm going to Israel. And he's like, well, I'm going to stay right here because that's who I'm working for, I thought that showed a lot of cojones. Do what?
That was the worst question they could have asked Mamdani, to be honest with you. They thought that it would destroy him, and they replayed it. They replayed it over and over and over on mainstream media, thinking that it was going to hurt him. And people heard it, and they were like, oh, wow, the guy's actually interested in New York and New York only. What a concept. He's running for New York mayor, and he doesn't want to talk about anyone else.
Yeah, he's not Eric Adams, where Eric Adams went over and here, let me play this clip. Because this is fucking weird. Gotta say, surely I have it. I'm pretty sure I downloaded it. Where is it?
You're talking about the clip where he goes over there and sucks on the wall and tells them, I'm here to serve you?
Yes. Yeah. Here it is. I'll play it again. Because this is weird, guys. Like you're the mayor of a city and you go over there and suck their ass. I gotta unmute the damn thing.
Yeah, that was creepy.
And as
Let's see.
my male team here in Israel, and as I finish, I wanted to come back here to Israel and let you know that I serve you as the mayor, but I want to continue to have the title that's more important to me than anything. I'm your brother. Thank you.
Serve you as the mayor. What a weird fucking thing to
Talk
say
about
to
a
another
humiliation
country.
ritual.
Yeah. I don't get it. Like Ben, what do you think of that? Isn't that weird?
Yeah, to talk about pandering. I just don't. I didn't get that at all. I was kind of shaking my head like, what the fuck? When I heard that, I was like, oh my God.
And even make that worse, the America First guy, ended up helping this guy out, endorsing him and shit. So America First or Israel First? I don't know. I don't think they can figure out which one they love best. It was that Clay KK Higgins couldn't figure it out either.
It's all about money.
Yeah.
I need your money.
You think it's money, or do you think it's a religious thing? Like, where we got to bring back the state of Israel so that the Messiah can come back, and you know what I mean? I wonder
It's neither. It's really a political thing. You got to understand, as far as like campaign donations and all that, they barely get anything. The influence that comes in from the PACs, the lobbies, specifically AIPAC, is the mobilization of voters. They can accomplish a lot with getting people in, but more importantly, getting people out of the way, right? This didn't work with Mr. Zoran because people worked. They were able to work past the how do I say it? The propaganda past. Oh, he's a jihadi. Oh, they're going to put a hijab on Lady Liberty. All the nonsense that you heard. That's kind of been watered down a bit because every time you hear him talk, he only wants to talk about New York, and New Yorkers were all about that.
Yeah, they call him this morning. I was listening to a MAGA panel, and they were like, I can't believe Trump was out there glazing a jihadi communist. Like, what the fuck? I don't know. These people, we're dealing with
now
weird
they're
people.
circulating that everybody's going to have to learn Arabic numerals in New York City and school systems. It's sickening. It's just freaking sickening.
Propaganda bullshit.
Well, when I speak with them, I just remind them that they're losers. They lost London. It's Londonistan. This is New Yorkistan now.
Londonistan.
Whether you like it or not, out with the kosher, in with the halal. It's just hard work. You got to think about, as Muslims globally, we've been knocking on people's door, going door to door for decades now, talking about the word of Allah, and it's finally just setting in.
Well, you know how that worked out for the Mormons and the Jehovah's Witnesses, man. So just tread lightly.
I honestly, I think the dudists are taking over.
Yeah, I got a question for you guys. When was the last time a Muslim knocked on your door to talk to you about the word of Allah?
Dude, like every day. What are you talking about? And then every time I open the door, I hear this ticking. Like, oh God, they got me. Yeah.
So do you guys know what the percentage of Muslims is in the United States?
Can I butt in real quick?
I was just about to go to you. Yes, you can. And I don't know the percentage, but Bunny, go ahead.
It's less than 1%. Go ahead, Bunny.
Well, y'all can keep talking and continuing. I just, of course, because Tim said the only reason I come up is because I accidentally tap, is I needed a reason to come up. So, if everyone could please be tapping prior to him getting off, if we could try to get him at least to 50,000, that would be absolutely phenomenal.
Thank you, Bunny.
We've been sitting here listening to him. There's no reason you can't tap. In fact, if you're like me, all you have to do is hover your little finger right over and it auto taps for you. Thank you, Shakes. So, enjoy the rest of your live. I will hop down so I can continue to tap.
Thank you, Bunny. I appreciate that. Yeah, and I'm terrible about my PSAs, but thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I do have a gifting goal. We are ending here soon, but if somebody wants to finish that up, that'd be great. You said less than 1% anyway. The taking, Ben.
Yeah, so I just kind of feed into it instead of giving some pushback. I just go, you know what? You're right. You guys are a bunch of losers. You lost the whole country to Islam. All you guys do is lose. You're incapable of winning. How pathetic are you to lose your country to Islam? How did it get to that point?
Yeah. No, I don't know. And I don't even think that's written into the Quran, but it's written into the Tanakh that they're supposed to take over.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, and it doesn't even skirt around it. It literally says this in the Old Testament. It does.
And that's not even nearly as bad as the Talmud, the Zohar, and the Kabbalah.
Right.
So there's a lot of religious extremism that people aren't aware of, and they like to say it's all Muslims. And I'm afraid they're just passing the buck.
Well, this is another interesting one too. According to the North American Task Force Against Terrorism, what would you say is the percentage of extremist Muslims globally? Like what percentage do they represent of the global Muslims?
At least 2 billion. Probably 2 billion.
So the Muslim population, the Muslim population is 2 billion. That's correct. But what percentage of that 2 billion is actually considered through surveying, or data collection, extremist, according to the North American Terrorism Task Force?
Shit, not much.
It's under 1%.
Yeah. I was going to say, and then they attribute that to everybody, just like Uncle Ben's issue with some of the people generalizing his generation. They're not all like that.
Not even close to a minority or a majority. We're talking about less than 1%.
I think of all the boomers, the boomers have a higher percentage of selfishness than Muslim people have a percentage of extremists.
Agreed.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, liberal Poetivity brought up that guy earlier at the beginning of the live that is being sued by Kash Patel's girlfriend for $5 million.
Yes.
And I didn't really follow it. I was listening to what you guys said, but I saw a clip of him talking about what's happened to him recently. I woke up one morning with this lawsuit, and then his insurance got canceled. Somebody stole his $100,000 car. He's not getting any compensation for it. They froze their bank accounts. They canceled their IDs. Kash Patel's girlfriend is running around now with FBI protection. It's you want to talk about terrorism? That's like domestic terrorism right there. They want to talk about how Biden weaponized the FBI, which there was some things I didn't like that, moms were getting targeted at school board meetings, things like that. That's overboard. But this is like next level domestic terrorism facilitated by the FBI.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts, man.
Israeli interests, not Islamic interests.
Right. And that actually speaks to maybe there is some validity there to what that guy had said.
Loudmouth.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sure you guys have heard some people talk about the fear of law enforcement. Maybe you've heard some police officers or your friends who are in law enforcement talk about how maybe they'll give you this example. I've heard this one where they say, if there's a stoplight and it's red, why do you stop if there's no police around? And they'll tell you it's because of the fear of law enforcement. These people, they want you to live in fear, okay? And you'll hear them talk about more presence. Oh, more presence, law enforcement presence equals more safety. The reality is that's terrorism in a nutshell. If the government wants you living in fear of something, they're terrorizing you. Why do they want you living in fear all day, every day?
That's true. Yeah, I remember the lead up to the Iraq War. It was constant fear mongering. That was constant. They even had colors. They'd use colors to scare you. Well, to try to scare you, I guess. Some people, I was just like, these people are fucking ridiculous. But, you know, they did that. Like the pin boom booms, remember that? And the exploding cows and shit. I mean, they came up with all kinds of crazy shit back in the day. Weird. But anyway, well guys.
Anthrax, and they
yes.
tested the anthrax vaccines on the soldiers. Yep.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking wild times. If you're too young to know, you should go look it up. They came up with all kinds of crazy shit. But guys, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. I really appreciate everybody. We did make it to 34,000 likes. That's close enough, I guess. Anyway, I'm going to go spend some time with the wife. She ain't here yet, but she's coming, and I'm looking forward to it. So we might see you next week, may not. I don't know yet. We'll see. But y'all have a great weekend. We'll catch you next time. Peace.
Thanks for having me up, Tim.
Yep.
Later, liberal.
Thanks for being up, Ben. I appreciate you, man. Good to see you.